Thoracic apa? Do you have any idea? Intercostal muscle, diaphragm
Cavity.
dengan ribcage. Tukar apa?
Thoracic cavity.
Oh, kejap Kenapa saya tidak mendengar? Oh, okay. Sebentar. Alright, thank you so much. Okay, so let's start. So today we are going to start with a simple model used to represent the human respiratory system. Di makmal, we use glass bottle, but we can prepare the same model using materials that are available at our home. For example, the one that I'm showing you right now. In fact, my daughter used to make this model in the kindergarten. I think your kindergarten experience, kindergarten learning pun ada buat model ni using plastic bottle, straw, rubber sheet at the bottom here, and balloons for inside the bottle to represent human respiratory system. So based on the image given, can you identify each part of the model represent what part of our human respiratory system? Cuba tengok pada raja yang saya tunjukkan. Setiap bahan yang digunakan pada model itu mewakili organ apa pada sistem respirasi kita. Okay. Thoracic cavity, Allah Akbar. Boleh lupa thoracic cavity. Okay, plastic bottle represents what? Okay. I give you around 3 minutes to take a look at the picture, the animated GIF, and then we will discuss the answer, okay? Okay, in the Google Meet, the image is moving. So you can see the changes in each of the structure when the person is pulling the rubber sheet at the bottom of the bottle. So if we want to take a look at how the model works, take a look at the Google Meet presentation. And when you want to answer, you open your own personal paddock. Sebab inside the paddock, I can see that the image is not moving. Because whenever we use draw function, dia memang macam tu. The image does not move. But if I use text submission, masukkan text, the image move. So that is the drawback of using the draw function lah. Okay. So look at the model. Untuk mereka yang baru masuk, on this slide, I'm presenting right now the way a simple model that represents human respiratory system works. For this particular slide, can you identify the balloon represents what for our respiratory system? Plastic bottle tu untuk apa? Straw tu represents apa? And rubber sheet represents apa? Saya ubah sikit. It is the same table as in your workbook, but I changed the materials a bit because I'm showing you a different model. Different model that uses a different set of materials. Okay, most of you have finished, so saya rasa saya boleh stop countdown ni. Sekejap. How about you, Emilia dengan Rizky? Are you having internet problems? Ada masalah internet ke untuk jawab? You can use the text function ya. I think the text function is one of the fastest way to submit our answer. Kan? Kalau guna stylus tu, if you are very good, very fluent, very competent in using the stylus, dia memang cepat sikit lah. Cepat sikit lah kita nak answer tu. Okay, we already have 19 people in the paddock. In the Google Meet, we have 17. Peliknya ada 17. Oh yelah, one is my own. So betul lah, sama lah. Alright. Okay, I have unlocked the screen now. Sekejap ya, nak buat announcement dalam WhatsApp. Sebab tak cukup ni, sikit ni. Less than, lebih kurang separuh saja. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, the first one, botol, the plastic, plastic bottle pula. The balloons represents the lungs. Sebab we can see that the lungs changes in, lungs pula. The balloon change in terms of volume when the lungs change, the balloon change in terms of volume when the rubber sheet is pulled down. Okay, so that is the lung. Plastic bottle represents the rib cage. Lupa pula saya nak habaq. Cikgu, you can use your pencil function to mark your answer. Jangan biarkan kamu punya slide tu bersih tanpa penandaan. Appreciate yourself, assess yourself. You are doing a good job. Tanda pada jawapan dan hasil kerja kamu. Nak guna warna hijau boleh, purple boleh, kelabu teh anjing pun boleh, tak ada masalah. Okay, number 3, straw represents trachea. And number 5, rubber sheet represents diaphragm. Very good. Okay, give yourself a one star or one cat or one smiley. Any emoticons or emoji that suits you. Kejap ya. Ada orang tintong tapi tak masuk. Who is it? Okay, tak apa. Kita cuba lagi. Give yourself one smiley ke one. Ada orang suka lukis cat iconnya, nyan cat. And I think if you are using your smartphone device ke tablet ke, you can use the emoji function kan for text. So macam itu cool juga tu kalau letak. Alright, thank you so much for all of your responses. Semua pun betul, bagus. Okay, good. Tak apa, nanti next slide nanti Emilia dengan Ziyad kamu respon ya. Jangan biarkan kamu punya slide tu bersih. Isikan dengan nota-nota. Alright, let's take a look at this video. Okay, if your pair deck does not show the video, tak apa. Take a look at the Google Meet screen. I will share with you the video that introduces the the mechanism of gaseous exchange that occur in the alveolus. Bukan alveoli ya, alveolus, because there is only one structure here. If we can see a lot of alveolus in the diagram, then we call them in plural form as alveoli. So tengok gambar dulu and tengok video dulu baru jawab, okay? Kalau semasa menonton tu you immediately can identify the answer, then you can immediately write. Okay, sekejap ya.
There are approximately 3 million alveoli within an average adult lung. They have very thin walls, which permit the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide gases. A network of small blood vessels called capillaries, into which the inspired gases pass, surrounds alveoli. Diffusion occurs when molecules move from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. This occurs during gaseous exchange because the blood in the capillaries surrounding the alveoli has a lower concentration of oxygen than the air in the alveoli, which has just been inhaled. Because both alveoli and capillaries have walls which are only 1 cell thick, this allows gases to easily diffuse from one to the other. The same happens in reverse with carbon dioxide, CO2. The blood in the surrounding capillaries has a higher concentration of CO2 than the inspired air. Therefore, CO2 diffuses the other way, from the capillaries into the alveoli, where it can then be exhaled or There are approximately 3 million.
Okay, so I can see that some of you, there are already 3 to 4 people here who has started to write about the exchange of gases. Tak apa, tak apa. It's okay. Nanti saya pasang balik video tu. Some of you are starting to write the answer. So keep on writing. At the same time, I will play the video one more time so that you can refer to the video for your answers. When you write your answer, use the terms that I've provided in the slide. For example, I've provided in the slide, sekejap ya. I've provided in the slide, the first term is concentration of oxygen. So your first statement should be describing the concentration of oxygen based on the video. And then because of the concentration of oxygen is something, the direction of oxygen from where to where, for example. That is how you write it. Okay. So saya pasang video lagi sekali. I will play the video once again. To those of you who already have figured out the steps, keep on writing. For those of you who has not, I will play the video one more time. Don't worry, okay? Sekejap saya buat closed caption.
Alveoli within an average adult lung. They have very thin walls, which permit the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide gases. A network of small blood vessels called capillaries, into which the inspired gases pass, surrounds alveoli. Diffusion occurs when molecules move from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. This occurs during gaseous exchange because the blood in the capillaries surrounding the alveoli has a lower concentration of oxygen than the air in the alveoli, which has just been inhaled. Because both alveoli and capillaries have walls which are only 1 cell thick, this allows gases to easily diffuse from one to the other. The same happens in reverse with carbon dioxide, CO2. The blood in the surrounding capillaries has a higher concentration of CO2 than the inspired air. Therefore, CO2 diffuses the other way, from the capillaries into the alveoli, where it can then be exhaled or...
Okay, saya berhenti takat tu sebab sebenarnya penerangan tu adalah untuk the next step of our discussion. Okay, so let's take a look. First, in terms of oxygen concentration, when based on the video, oxygen concentration inside the alveolus is higher than oxygen concentration in the blood capillary. Okay, ada yang tulis the air inhale into the alveolus. Betul juga, memang dalam alveolus tu inhale air, very good. Okay, in simpler form, kalau nak jawab lebih simple, oxygen concentration in the alveolus, sebab ada satu je kan. Sorry, since I wrote the alveoli, most of you write alveoli, tak ada masalah, tak salah pun. Okay, I repeat, oxygen concentration in the alveolus is higher in the alveolus compared to in the blood capillary. Kena bagi tahu structure. Alveolus tu structure. Bila kita nak buat statement comparison, kita lah ni nak habaq my oxygen concentration in what structure is higher than what structure. Blood is not structure sayangku. Blood is a medium. So we cannot make comparison like that. Blood is a medium that can be found in blood capillary. So we are comparing oxygen concentration in the alveolus versus in the blood capillary. Hence why the statement oxygen concentration in alveolus is higher compared to blood capillary. Okay. Peher dok ni, peher. Okay. Nampaknya ada perubahan pada statement pertama, peher lah tu. Okay. So, statement number 2, statement 2 is the subsequent effect of difference in concentration. Statement kedua tu adalah kesan langsung bila ada perbezaan kepekatan tu. So statement number 2, oxygen diffuse from alveolus into the blood capillary. Number 3, we talk about carbon dioxide concentration pula. Carbon dioxide concentration is higher in the blood capillary compared to alveolus. Therefore, carbon dioxide will diffuse from blood capillary into alveoli atau alveolus. Bagus ni dia tulis diffuse through the walls of capillary into the blood. Bagusnya. Dia memang detail lah. Okay. For this part, I just wanted to assess whether you get the basic principles of gaseous exchange or not. Untuk gaseous exchange berlaku, first there must be a difference in concentration between the two structures. Number 2, then we will elaborate the direction of gas diffusion. So I'm giving you around 1 minute to update your answer. Sebab ramai yang dah tulis ni, tinggal nak edit-edit je jawapan dia. I give you 1 minute to edit your answer so that when you get the notes for today's lesson, you will get a complete note. Kan, sebab nanti slide ni kosong, tak ada description. When you write your answer, you will get your own description. Then your notes will be complete. Okay, Ziyad kalau ada masalah internet bagi tahu, mungkin kita boleh uruskan untuk Ziyad mengambil salinan nota kawan-kawan yang lain. Okay? Tak ada masalah Ziyad. It's okay. I understand if you are having internet problems. Sebab saya perasan Ziyad ni keluar masuk juga kat Google Meet kan? So I understand. Okay, so for the next part, we will discuss in detail the gaseous exchange that occurs in the alveolus. Oh, saya dah lock screen sekejap ya. That occurs in the alveolus. Okay, tulis ayat terakhir Mas. Tulis ayat terakhir. Sama juga dengan Namia, tulis ayat terakhir. Okay, sampai oksigen tu saja ya Namia, tak apa. It's okay. Sebab apa yang kita akan discuss lepas ni akan sentuh balik apa yang video tadi tunjuk. Video tadi tu serve as an introduction. Okay. Mas, ayat akhir Mas. Okay, mari kita tengok next slide. Okay, in this slide, this is basically what we have discussed before this, but I converted it in the form of fill in the blanks exercise. So I can see that some of you struggled in writing full sentences tadi. So I provided you with simpler sentences and you just fill in the blanks. Can you fill in the blanks? Okay, siapa tanya tu? Oh, okay. Yes. Yes. You go eat your breakfast? Okay, I can see that most of you have answered. Senang saja. Okay, so for the first one, first statement, sekejap ya, saya nak tengok sampai ke bawah. Danish belum jawab lagi, Damia belum jawab lagi. Silakan jawab. Okay ya. So I'm seeing right now your answers. Oh, dia siap-siap bagi ikon kucing kat diri dia ya. Tapi belum habis lagi ni. Siapa ni? Okay, Danish. Okay, Danish, selamat datang. Danish masuk paddock dulu ya, baru masuk sini. Oh, okay, I unlock screens now. Okay, so mari cikgu-cikgu kita tanda. Okay, inhale air in alveolus has a higher or greater concentration of oxygen. Tolong bagi right. Okay, kita gunakan perkataan tinggi, higher atau greater. Good cikgu-cikgu. And then cikgu-cikgu, therefore oxygen diffuses from alveolus to the blood capillary. From alveolus to the blood capillary. Bagus. Nampak simple saja statement dia, tak perlu pun sebut diffuses through the wall of blood capillary to the wall of alveolus. Sayangku, saya ajar bio pun tak cerita pun through the wall tu ya. Sebab it is understandable when it is moving from structure to structure sayangku. Mestilah go through walls. So sebab itulah kita tak cerita pun through the wall of capillary or through the wall of alveolus. Okay? Simple. Keep it simple. Okay, kita reserve penulisan panjang-panjang ni bila ada soalan aplikasi kan. So kita banyak nak explain. So higher alveolus blood capillary. Okay sayangku, kita sudah selesai untuk oksigen tapi baru cerita oksigen masuk ke dalam blood capillary. What happened after that? Now we want to take a look. Sorry Danny, saya terpaksa move to the next slide. Okay, because it's already 11 a.m. Okay, so movement and exchange of gases in the human body. Just now we discussed about until oxygen diffused into blood capillary, what happened after that? What happened is oxygen combined with hemoglobin to form oxyhemoglobin. And then oxyhemoglobin will be transported from the lungs to the heart. From the heart, pump atau move to other parts of the body. And then, sorry. Okay, so once oxygen enters the blood capillary, it will combine with hemoglobin to form oxyhemoglobin, and oxyhemoglobin will go to the heart. The red blood cells will be transported from the lungs to the heart and to other parts of the body. Okey anak-anak, sekarang ni cerita bila dah sampai ke other parts of the body. When the blood arrives at other parts of the body, what does it do? What happens after that? Can you complete this one? Can you complete this statement? Sekejap ya. Ada something wrong pada Raja dekat situ. For the second box sebenarnya ialah saya nak buat arrow kat situ. Arrow. Gitu ya, saya nak buat arrow. Saya nak buat arrow sebenarnya ya. So sorry, dia tak boleh nak baca arrow tu. Okay, complete the slide first and then we will start discussing about what happens at the body tissues. Okay. Let's take a look at your answer. Okay ya, bagus. Ramai yang sudah dapat. Tadi in step 5, we start with oxyhemoglobin. And oxyhemoglobin changes or break down to form hemoglobin and oxygen. Okay, so saya buat arrow dekat situ, itu adalah equilibrium arrow. So, equilibrium arrow ya. It is a type, when I place that arrow there, it is meant to write a chemical equation for that particular box. Okay, it is meant for you to write a chemical equation on that box. Okay, let's take a look. Very good. Okay, 2 box saja kan yang kena isi. Okay ya. Okay, kita ada kawan-kawan kita yang mungkin dia confuse sikit macam mana nak buat. Tak apa, kita sama-sama discuss. Okay, saya unlock screen. Okay, let's take a look at one sample answer. Okay, let's take a look at one sample answer from Ifrah. Okay, so Ifrah, she wrote here, since we understand in step number 4, oxygen combined with hemoglobin to form oxyhemoglobin, and itu step number 3. Step number 4, oxyhemoglobin will be transported from the lungs to all parts of the body. When the oxyhemoglobin arrives at the body tissue, oxyhemoglobin will break down to form hemoglobin and oxygen. So the equation that Ifrah wrote here is correct. Ifrah, tolong tanda right pada kotak pertama. When oxygen enters the body tissue atau oxygen enters each cell, oxygen will combine with glucose to form carbon dioxide, water and energy. So carbon dioxide and water is the waste material for this process. So carbon dioxide in step 7, carbon dioxide will be released from the cell into the blood capillaries so that it can move towards the lungs. Okay, so saya ulang. Tadi step number 4, kita tengok ada jawapan lain tak yang kita boleh rujuk. Bentar ya. Okay, ini jawapan Nur Emma. Okay, Nur Emma pun sama. Okay ya. So, it started with when the blood arrive at body tissues, oxyhemoglobin will change to form hemoglobin and oxygen. Hemoglobin stays in the blood capillary, tak pergi mana-mana, but oxygen, tapi Emma, ejaan oxygen tu kena betulkan ya. Oksigen pula.
Teacher.
Okay. And
Cikgu tak gerak.
Teacher tak nampak.
Oh, tak nampak. Sebentar ya. Saya share this tab instead. Okay, dah nampak?
Dah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Dia macam whatever pula pagi ni ya. Okay, tak apa. Okay, apa tadi? Okay, hemoglobin and oxygen, and then oxygen diffuse into the body cells atau body tissue so that cells can perform cellular respiration. Cellular respiration tu apa? Proses yang kita nampak dekat kotak nombor 6 ni. Glucose plus oxygen is used to produce carbon dioxide, water and energy. The objective of cellular respiration is to produce energy. But carbon dioxide and water are the byproduct, are the waste product of this reaction. Okay. So carbon dioxide will diffuse into blood capillaries to be transported back to the lungs. Okay, yeah. I hope most of you have changed your answer, have edited your answer. Okay, sekejap ya. Saya screenshot satu contoh jawapan dan saya akan share pada Telegram so that when you get the notes from PEDEC, you can refer back to this particular slide and update your answer. Kejap ya. Where is your class? This one and this one. Okay, nanti check out your Telegram, okay? Okay, let's take a look at the next slide. So, we know that carbon dioxide from the body tissues enter the blood capillary and blood travels from blood tissues back to the lungs. So, what happens after that? Cuba lengkapkan step pada box 9 and box 10. What happened over there? Simple saja kan. Dia basically lebih kurang sama dengan yang kita dah buat tadi. Okay, let's take a look at your answers. So, we know that now concentration of CO2 in the blood capillary is higher than in the alveolus. Very good. So, box number 9 is higher. Box number 10, what is the direction of carbon dioxide diffusion? Carbon dioxide diffuses from the blood capillaries. From the blood capillaries atau from the red blood cell. Kalau kamu nak sebut sel boleh, tapi kena specify red blood cells to the alveolus. Tak ada masalah. Okay, tapi sebab awal-awal tadi kotak nombor 2 tadi kita sebut blood capillaries kan. Blood capillaries pun betul ya. So carbon dioxide diffuses from blood capillary to the alveolus. When carbon dioxide enters the alveolus, it will be removed during exhalation. Okay, so sebenarnya anak-anak, up until now, we are introduced with two different types of respiration. The ones that we discussed before this and a bit today is external respiration. Respirasi yang melibatkan lungs, ribcage dan sebagainya. But at the cell level, at the cellular level, the respiration that occurs is called cellular respiration. Yang kita tulis glucose plus oxygen, produce water, produce carbon dioxide, produce energy. That is cellular respiration. And what you wrote before this yang ada arrow-arrow tu kan, glucose plus oxygen, ada arrow ke kanan, produce carbon dioxide, water and energy, that is not chemical equation, but it is actually word equation. Okay, tapi tak apa, dalam buku sains dia tulis chemical equation, tak apa, saya terima dengan sedikit reluctance, tapi the correct term is word equation, ya, persamaan perkataan. Okay. Sama juga when you write oxygen plus hemoglobin form oxyhemoglobin and then ada arrow kiri kanan tu kan. Itu adalah word equation juga. Okay. Okay, next let's try another discussion regarding adaptation of alveolus. When we talk about adaptation of certain structures to conduct its function, we will take a look at that particular structure in detail. We will take a look at what does the wall of that structure has? What does the internal structure of the one that we are discussing at that particular time? The internal structures what is the design? How does it help in the function of that particular structure? Atau dalam bahasa in simpler form, kita kata kita sentiasa mencari the name of the adaptation, the characteristic of the adaptation and the function for that particular adaptation. Okay, macam mana kita nak apply? Saya tunjuk kat sini. Okay, for example, when we discuss about the adaptation of alveolus for gaseous exchange, we will always talk about, we will always arrange our explanation in this sequence. The name of the structure, the characteristic of the structure, and the function for that particular structure that helps in the gaseous exchange for this case. For example, cuba tengok pada kotak warna oranye. Okay, pada kotak warna oranye ini, sekejap ya, saya tunjuk kat sini ya. Sekejap ya Aisyah, saya tahu Aisyah tak sabar nak jawab. It's okay. Sekejap ya. Okay ya, sekarang ni saya tunjuk dulu pada kotak warna oranye di sini. Okay ya, take a look. Okay, first level, I mention the structure, the name of structure. Maknanya kita nak discuss adaptation alveolus. Firstly, I would like to discuss the wall of the alveolus, the wall of the blood capillaries. So, both structures, the wall of both structure is only one layer of cell. The thickness of the structure is only one layer. Therefore, the function is to increase the rate of gaseous diffusion, kadar penyerapan gas jadi lagi cepat. Therefore, it maximize gaseous exchange. Last kali matlamat semua struktur ni adalah untuk meningkatkan kadar pertukaran gas. So, I repeat. First, I take a look at the wall of alveolus. I can see that the thickness is only one layer thick, one layer of cell thick. That is the characteristic, second level. The third level, I explain about the function for that particular characteristic, which is to increase the rate of gaseous diffusion. Cuba kamu continue in terms of wall of alveolus. Ada lagi satu karakteristik yang penting pada wall of alveolus that allow gases to dissolve and diffuse. And then kita move on to the number of alveolus. What is the characteristic and what is the function for that particular characteristic? And then we take a look at the surface of the alveolus. Apa karakteristik dia? Dipenuhi atau dilitupi dengan apa? Dan kesan dia kepada function. Okay, so use the first box that I circle here, wall of alveolus and blood capillaries 2 as a guide. We start with the name. I've already given you the name. Can you give me the characteristic and the function? Okay. Let's take a look at your responses. Okay. Ada satu jawapan ni bagus dah. Millions of alveolus. So millions of alveolus tu berada pada kotak warna kuning, orange kuning tu kan. Sebab it's under the characteristic number of alveolus kan. Okay. Good. Ada seorang dah identify. The wall is moist. Yang moist ni betul dah. Okay. When you answer moist like this, betul. Okay. Okay, what I'm showing you in the Google Meet right now is the summary of all of the answers given here. Only two haven't responded, Ziyad and Damia. Okay, it's okay, I understand. If you have internet problems, I understand. If the connection's not very supportive today, it's okay. Okay, let's take a look at our answer, shall we? Alright, let's take a look at a few sample answer here. Mari kita tengok a few sample answer. Okay. Okay, let's take a look at this answer. Okay, for this particular answer, okay, murid ini dia jawab surface of alveolus very thin and moist. Okay, thin dengan moist tu kedua-duanya adalah karakteristik. Boleh rujuk pada Google Meet ya yang saya tengah present sekarang. Okay, thin walls dengan moist ni is the characteristic. So thin walls tu sudah diceritakan pada kotak warna oranye. I have already mentioned the characteristic in only one layer of cell. Nipis, wall yang nipis tu sama dengan only one layer of cell lah. Ketebalan dia hanya satu cell. Moist ni is for the blue box over there. Okay, moist ni, the characteristic moist is for the blue box down there because the moist wall of alveolus will allow gases to dissolve and diffuse into blood capillaries. So tolong betulkan ya. Okay. Next, let's take a look at another answer. Okay, let's take a look at another answer. Okay, this one. Okay, so for the number of alveolus, this student mentioned the characteristic is there are millions of alveolus. Betul, bagus. Boleh bagi right kat sini. So the function of having millions of alveolus is to increase total surface area. To increase total surface area or to provide large surface area for gaseous exchange. Okay, sila rujuk pada Google Meet punya screen. Saya sedang bercakap mengenai jawapan murid ini yang describe the characteristic of number of alveolus. Number of alveolus, the characteristic is there are millions of alveolus. And then the function is large surface area, luas permukaan yang besar for exchange of gases. Okay, tolong upgrade jawapan kat sini. large surface area. Very good. Dia terus buat. Okay, finally. For not this one, I already checked. Let's take a look at another one. Okay, so this answer, she said that the surface of alveolus, I'm referring to the green box here. Okay, the surface of alveolus is covered by a compact network of capillaries. Kalau kamu tulis covered by a network of blood capillaries pun cukup dah, tak ada masalah. So, because there are a lot of blood capillaries, the function is to increase rate of gaseous exchange. Very good. Okay, dah tu jawapan tu, tak ada masalah. Okay, so I screenshot this answer for the reference of for others to refer to when you get your notes later during the day. Nanti boleh update pada jawapan masing-masing. Saya share ni sebab ada significant number of us yang ada salah konsep ya. Sebab itulah saya share jawapan. Okey, saya ulang. Box warna biru tu karakteristik dia moist. Box warna hijau ialah covered by a network of blood capillaries. Box warna orange, karakteristik dia ialah millions of alveolus. Okay. So, kita dah sampai ke penghujung kelas. Saya ingin mengakhiri kelas kita hari ini dengan satu soalan kebat. Okay, dengan satu soalan kebat. Soalan ni adalah kamu punya homework ya. Saya tunjukkan pada Google Meet sekarang so that you can see the animated GIF where when the man breathes, we can see the vapor coming out of his mouth. Okay, saya nak tunjuk yang tu. Itu yang penting tu, ada nampak uap tu. Okay ya. Sekejap. Okay, so I screenshot this question also. This question will be your homework. Please write this question in your notebook and write the answer also in your notebook. Okay, saya dah screenshot letak dalam Telegram for you to refer to sebab tak boleh nak discuss sekarang sebab masa kita dah habis. Nanti next class kita discuss, okay? So, a bit of a guide to answer this question. Take a look, check out what happens when we climb mountains. What is the air pressure in high altitude, and what is the effect of being the pressure of a high altitude environment towards gaseous exchange. Okay, dia ada kaitan tu, altitude tu ada kaitan. So we have come to the end of our class. So please, I would like to ask for your feedback for our lesson today. Okay, basically sambil kamu tulis tu, saya ni ya. Saya apa? Saya summarize. Allah Akbar. Okay, sambil kamu tulis, saya summarize. Number one, we have discussed about a simple respiratory model that represents human respiratory system and its mechanism. And then we have discussed about gaseous exchange that occurs in the alveolus, between alveolus and blood capillary. And we have also discussed about adaptations of alveolus to increase gaseous exchange. Okay, to make sure that gaseous exchange occurs at maximum rate. We have discussed whenever we want to write about adaptation, usually we arrange our answer in the form of name, characteristic, and function of that particular structure. Kita cakap pasal alveolus, tapi kita pecahkan kita punya perbincangan tu, our description based on the what is the adaptation of the wall, what is the adaptation of the surrounding, what is the adaptation of the external structure, and so on and so forth lah. Oh, okay. Nanti saya check ya. Is it possible for me to send every right question? Tapi I think for fill in the blanks okay kot. Cuma yang soalan-soalan yang high level saja yang saya akan share jawapan yang terbaik macam saya share sebelum ni lah. Tapi kalau untuk fill in the blanks tu, I think okay kot, you can survive kot. You can simply ask around what is the correct answer kan, sebab most of you fill in the blanks questions tu dapat betul. Okay. Okay, so it's already 11:30. Thank you so much for coming to class today. I hope I will see you soon. I hope I can see more of you soon. Sebab baru ada 20 orang je dalam ni. Sedih jugalah. Hari tu dapat juga 25 . So sekian dulu. Have a nice day. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, teacher.
Sama-sama.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher.